I think when somebody highlights that you might be able to do something in whatever capacity, I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I don't do all that incredible work. But what I do have is something that I can do to help elevate and amplify a message that gets Children with Cancer UK out there. We can make a difference. Everybody can make a difference. I was only this morning looking through Children with Cancer UK's Instagram stories, and you will see stuff that emotionally tugs at you, but you'll also see things that make you smile.
Hello, I'm Elvin, the former CEO of Children with Cancer UK, and as part of our series talking to the charity's ambassadors today, I'm chatting to Jimmy Carpenter. With a successful career in radio and podcast production, including producing the Chris Evans breakfast show, Jimmy has worked as a DJ in his own right for BBC Radio Leicester, as well as supporting such luminaries as Elton John, Paul McCartney and Rod Stewart, you know, those small names. Well, most recently, he's been busy producing a brilliant new podcast for sports fans called Football, Music and Me. He's a very active supporter of the charity, including running the London Marathon for Children with Cancer UK. So, Jimmy, thank you for taking the time to chat with us today.
Hi, Joe.
How are you?
I'm very good, thanks.
Good. Now, tell me how you first came to be involved with Children with Cancer UK. How did you first hear about the charity?
Well, I was actually at a DJ event, and I was with people who were involved with Children with Cancer UK, and they were talking so passionately about the story of how it came to be as a charity. And I was so moved by it that actually ever since that conversation, I knew I just had to get involved.
And have you had any personal experience of children in cancer?
Well, my wife, her best friend for about 7 years, from the age of 7 to 14, had leukemia. She unfortunately lost her battle with cancer.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But I just knew from the family that I grew to know, her parents, her sister, and obviously the impact it had on my wife, just how tragic cancer can be. I mean, A, full stop, but B, to think within children and what families have to go through. So that's the first thing. But secondly, just since I've been a part of the charity, hearing all the stories of what people go through, you cannot but help be moved. And as a dad of two young girls, it just grips you. You know?
I know, I get that. So how did it feel? Because you and I got to know each other when you were running marathons and doing all sorts of other great things for us. How did it feel to be asked to be an ambassador for the charity?
Incredible. Absolutely privileged, a real honour. I think when somebody highlights that you might be able to do something in whatever capacity, I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I don't do all that incredible work. But what I do have is something that I can do to help elevate and amplify a message that gets Children with Cancer UK out there. And I think just to have that opportunity to be able to support in any way that I can, I felt really privileged.
And you really did go the extra 26 miles, as we say, for the London Marathon. Tell us what that experience was like.
Well, actually, I wouldn't have done it had it not been for the charity.
Right.
So the thing about doing something like being involved with Children with Cancer UK is that actually, again, you feel compelled to get involved with it. It's like a movement or a calling, something you're telling you have to do these things. But while I was running that, even though it was challenging for me personally, the thing that was going through my mind was the fact that actually what kids are going through when they're on this cancer journey and the parents, what you're doing is nothing. And honestly, that really helps you pull through. The other thing about doing it, though, is that Children with Cancer UK has the largest number of places for a charity, and you see so many people proudly wearing their Children with Cancer UK tops, and just sort of seeing them, passing them, connecting, bonding, understanding who they're running for, because everybody's got a story, is a really special moment. And actually, just thinking about it now, you just realise what an event that is. I mean, that's just one of many events the charity does, but that particularly for me was a standout, and also I'd never done it before. So.
Oh, well, it's amazing. And